We're here in the New Urban Agenda interview corner with Hamid Mustafa from the UNESCO Chair in Inclusive Sports. Firstly, Hamid, can you tell us how your work is contributing to sustainable urban development?
Okay, our chair itself is the UNESCO Chair for Inclusive Sports, Physical Education, Physical Activity, and Fitness and Recreation. And we are based in Tralee, Ireland. What we focus on is making inclusive sports and physical education more mainstream and recreation for people with disabilities. So we transform the lives of people with disabilities, their families and communities around them. We have several projects that we are ongoing that we're currently doing with this. To mention a few, one of them would be the Global Active Cities project, which is a standards project that we're currently doing. This project itself focuses on different levels of standards that cities can follow, abide by, to make the cities more inclusive and more active and bridge that divide that we have possibly between, for instance, in the Smart Cities Expo that we have, that digital divide and with the well-being and health of the human being himself.
And what are the challenges then in cities in terms of sport and getting people active?
Well, one of the things is possibly, first of all, urban mobility itself, is that people, for instance, are with people with new, technologies coming up, like let's say, for instance, automobiles that are autonomously driven. You get less and less active. This is where we are going towards. That people, even though within an automobile, less mobility. You're not moving. But let's say, for instance, if you have more bicycles and more people running and having more pathways for people within this community to be more active, and more parks and recreations and so forth for people to be more active, then we could benefit the health and well-being for the person himself. And it's about creating that platform and areas for those people to actually get more active than to become less active.
And so who are you working with? Do you work directly with local governments, with other local partners in cities?
We work with a very diverse group of people. We have partners from governments, from international organizations, such as the Global Active Cities project, for instance, is a partnership between the International Olympic Committee, Evalio, which is a standards organization based in Switzerland, and TAFISA, which is the sports organizations for all, and the UNESCO chair itself as well. We focus on making cities more inclusive and more aware and more inclusive for people with disabilities, and making more accessible for people with such disabilities, and making disability more mainstream and more acceptable within society, and more accessible for people with society. That's our main focus.
Okay, one final question. We're here at the New Urban Agenda corner, and we have the Sustainable Development Goals photo call behind us. These are very ambitious targets that we've set globally. So what's your vision, let's say, for the city in 50 years' time?
Well, as we focus on basically right now, let's say, for instance, on the basis of the Global Active Cities project, because the SDG, the Sustainable Development that was done was basically done on the focus of the economy, the biosphere, and the social aspect. And there's 17 goals. The most complex part of that goal is the partnership aspect of these goals, the 17, which is goal number 17. And I envision the perfect. It's a realistic goal that we could achieve if we focus on all aspects interconnectedly related. As for instance, and the main focus to leave no one behind, as they say. And for instance, there are some goals that are more interconnected with others, such as goal number 12, which is the sustainable consumption, which bridges the economic, the social, and the environmental, which is what we focus on. Our chair focuses on the social aspect, which is the human being, the well-being, the health of the person, which is goal number 3 and goal number 5, and reducing inequalities as well in goal number 10. But for instance, the project that we have, the Global Active Cities project, it focuses on goal number 3, goal number 11, which is the Sustainable Cities goal, which is more relative to the urban agenda, and of course goal number 17 with forming partnerships.
So we have lots of work in front of us. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks.